Hi everyone, welcome to Money and Me podcast by the Coin Republic, where we get some of the most interesting guests from the Web3, crypto, and blockchain space. Today we have with us the co-founder and CEO of ZKLink, Vince. He has been up to some amazing things, and as the market takes a turn for the good, we're excited to hear about all things amazing that ZKLink has been up to. Vince, a little bit about yourself, about the firm, and what has been in works these last couple of months.
Thank you very much, Veroni. Hi, everyone. My name is Vince Yang. I'm the co-founder and the CEO at ZKLink. ZKLink is building zero-knowledge infrastructure solutions for Ethereum and also other layer 1 blockchains and the Ethereum layer 2 rollups. We have been building aggregated rollup and ZK scaling engine for high-performance ZK applications for the past 3.5 years. And we have also launched two different products in the past 2 years. And right now we are still building ZK solutions, and also we're exploring other interesting things with blockchain technology like a crypto AI agents and also chain abstraction infrastructure, sovereign network, intent-based blockchain links, etc. Yeah, very happy to be here today.
Thank you so much, Vince. We're really happy to have you on our show, in fact. And if I'm not wrong, your journey in the Web3 space has been a lot longer. Of course, now for the last few months, there's been a lot of chit chat about cryptocurrencies, blockchain, mainstream news media is on top of Bitcoin price action and mostly price related stuff and the involvement of a lot of institutional players in this space. However, if I'm not wrong, your journey in the Web3 space has been an illustrious one. If you can walk us through how you stumbled upon this space, and I like to call it the rabbit hole. So, how long have you been in the rabbit hole, and how's your journey in this space look like? If you can talk about specifics as to the most memorable parts of this journey when you began, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, actually, I didn't join the industry in the very, very early days compared with a lot of my friends and other builders in the space. My first touch with crypto was back in the days in the year of 2016. I was in a conference in Shanghai organized by BTCC, Bitcoin China. And a few, I believe, was the early co-founders, co-developers for Ethereum, and a few Bitcoin enthusiasts were there discussing and debating, the smart contract platform Ethereum, this first concept brought by Ethereum, and also, debating why it would be a better blockchain by compared with Bitcoin. And also there were some Bitcoin guys there just, talking about promises of blockchain and most importantly, the future of Bitcoin. And also there's a Bitcoin magazine. Vitalik used to be the editor of Bitcoin magazine, and that was my first touch with the Bitcoin concept. I was reading Bitcoin magazine, explaining, the concept of Bitcoin, and and also I read the white paper, and I formally joined the industry in the year of 2019, and as a Bitcoin miner. So I started on the mining side. I started with hardware with ASIC miner facilities, a miner, the Bitcoin miner produced most of these mining companies, miner manufacturing companies were based in China, and there were abundant cheap energies and accessible abundant cheap energies in the west of China. And so I started as a Bitcoin miner and started to learn the industry with how to mine Bitcoins and how to make transactions with Bitcoin network. And then in the year 2019, I also started to learn about Ethereum, and I read the white paper and the yellow paper of Ethereum and then smart contract. And in the year of 2020, when early DeFi summer came, then a lot of interesting applications just came into place with DeFi, the AMMs, lending protocol yield aggregator, and other interesting stuff. And then it became totally different, compared with the early days when we were just purely focused on mining, just calculating energy and the cost of the miners to solve. Then I decided to go deeper into the blockchain technology, because my background, I started my career as an engineer working on automotive system design, on powertrain system engines. So it was like a mechatronics. I also did a little bit of coding with C++. Uh, so I started to learn a little bit of Solidity, and also, studied to use DeFi applications, and I started to learn the different, designs of different blockchains, and as started to think about the trilemma of blockchains, throughput, security, decentralization, and how to break this trilemma. People were discussing a lot about it, and I went to different crypto conferences, and since then I've been learning. The overall, my experience in the past years has been very rewarding and very thrilling. I am very grateful that I have made the right decision in the early days to join this industry, and I have seen a lot in the past years. How volatile the market has been, and how fast the technology has advanced, and how many different kinds of applications and use cases have emerged compared with the early days, with the different types of blockchains. And since the early days, from 2019, when there was like the old layer one blockchains that were not much like useful for like the real use cases, and the smart contract platform, Ethereum sidechains, Ethereum scaling solutions, and then high performance layer ones like Solana and Phantom, Algorand, and even these BNB chain, BSC, and Heco chain. Having seen all the developments of these different blockchains approaching to solve the trilemma, like, to increase the throughputs, to support more real world applications. Where we found our way, we found something that we really want to build, and with zero knowledge technology. That was also in the early days, that we're talking about the scaling solutions, how to scale a smart contract platform, Ethereum, safely, and also with very high throughputs that can support large amount of transactions, that can support real world use cases. It was since then that we were focusing on building these new infrastructure solution to help scale Ethereum safely, and also to connect the different blockchains together. Because with the emergence of many different layer one blockchains and the Ethereum layer two rollups, then there are other challenges, like there's also fundamental needs and primitive needed for making transactions across blockchains, using different applications on different blockchains, because a lot of different blockchains are designed for different types of applications. For example, it's certainly quite different to use a blockchain for a DeFi applications that deal with a lot of funds and large amount of transactions. They have higher requirements for security, and then you have also blockchain gaming, running a game that probably a million of users playing at the same time, and the blockchain is very different. It has the kind of like highest demand on throughputs. At the same time, they're not dealing with a lot of financial needs, so they have like definitely a lot higher demands on TPS compared with the security and decentralization of the blockchain itself. That is why we're seeing so many different blockchains, and we believe that the future also will be a lot of blockchains for a lot of different applications. But we still strongly believe that most of the blockchains will run with smart contracts, and then, so this can support more general purpose applications.
Absolutely. You walked us through a bit of gaps that the industry already had, and how you guys at ZKLink were trying to fill those up. If you could also walk us through the inception of ZKLink from day one. How did you meet your co-founders, your team? What was the process looking like? And from then to now, what has changed in terms of, let's say, your goals or vision for the firm? And how do you as a founder sort of pivot and align with the space changing so fast?
Yeah, I used to work at Exchange Ventures. So then we had a lot of internal studies and internal research on Ethereum scaling solutions. They're starting with Plasma state channel sidechains. Yeah, for the early days in 2020, the sidechains were still popular, right? You have the Polygon POC, and also your POS. Sorry, you have also the side chains like BSC chain, Binance Smart Chain, and also Heco chain. The support is quite good, but with the people are looking for like better design, to reach the better balance with the blockchain, within the blockchain trilemma, decentralization, throughput, and security. The earliest inception of ZKLink is to interconnect blockchains, different blockchains, with the best tech, with the zero-knowledge proof technology, which is safe, which is trustless, kind of custodial, self-custodial. Uh, we simply want to offer user experience, offer use cases, to support use cases that can uh, allow users to use different blockchains seamlessly and without having to worry about the security of their own funds, and also that it can scale, you know, uh, vertically and horizontally. Our conclusion were in the early days that ZK, with its amazing properties, mathematical proofs, can reach the best balance among all the choices we have, compared with other solutions like optimistic rollup based on economic trust, economic security, and also like I said, side chains, uh, you know, which is more centralized and is more vulnerable when you like scale it largely with a lot of funds and skills. And it has been a very long journey since the day one, because we first launched our testnet with a cross index using ZK, right? And then we decided to go further to build uh, a blockchain using zero-knowledge proof, which is ZK EVM. Then we decided to go to multiple chains and to settlement. So to do the settlement on multiple blockchains, so we can aggregate the different blockchains together and unify and aggregate the different blockchains and offer a unified and simplified user experience and use cases to crypto users. That's where we're today. And then we also, in the meantime, we also have noticed that there was a strong demand for high performance ZK applications like order book perp decks. Stackware Labs were the first ones to provide such solutions to DYDX, were the first use case, first clients of Stackware solution. And then you had on the market about 9, 10 different other applications using a similar tech like Apex, RabbitX, ApolloX. They're all using the same tech. And then Starknet also shifted the focus from this scaling engine to build out ZKVM ZK Stark, their own network, scaling network. It's called a Starknet. So they're not like doing a lot of like new developments with their ZKX scaling engine. So there were a few developer teams that came to us and asking if we could do similar stuff and provide such solutions, because there was like there was a strong demand for that. And then we developed the ZK-Link X, which is similar to StackX engine, but it is accessed with this extra step we took was offering access to multiple blockchains. So users can access to these order book trades, and they can complete the transactions and the trades with multiple assets from multiple blockchains. Yeah, that is the capability that were provided to these DEX applications. And of course, at the same time, it is still secured with zero-knowledge proof. So it's completely trustless, completely secured by mathematical proofs, self-custodial. So all the transactions are it's kind of the kind of the best of the tech back in the days. I think we launched that about 1.5 years ago, and it's running very steadily still till today. And there's 100 to 500 million, something between trading volumes on these kind of these products that are supported by our technology. But there's still a lot of room to grow. And then we continue to develop our own like aggregated rollup ZK EVM, the layer 3, to aggregate all layer 2s together and solving the challenge of liquidity fragmentation and user experience fragmentation. Just have one blockchain to aggregate the other Ethereum rollups together. That is we also launched this year, and yeah, today it is running, and we have about 30 dApps running on this chain, and there's still a lot more things to do.
Wow, that's super interesting. From then to now, I'm sure that a lot of challenges as well as a lot of goals have been rearranged, reformed. And now, as once we stand on the cusp of a new year and we're about to, make it to another year for the industry at large, of course, there are a lot more people who want to join in as well, a lot more newcomers who are excited about this space. What are the new goals and what is the vision and mission rather for 2025 and the coming years? If you can walk us through what the short term, long term goals for ZKLink and yourself would be.
Yeah, 2025. I think people would agree that 2025 will be a very interesting year. Most likely, it will be a bull year for the whole crypto industry, right? With the newly elected President Trump in the United States, and the first crypto-friendly president, and already the market is running and is going up. And but as a developer in the space, we're still going to continue to focus on what we have on the roadmap, continue to ship and deliver the products that we have planned for 2025. And the main mission for us is to continue to solve the liquidity fragmentation and the user experience fragmentation across different blockchains, because there are probably like hundreds of layer one blockchains, and there are hundreds of layer two rollups on Ethereum. Then there will be hundreds of rollups on Bitcoin layer twos as well, and there will probably be even more like rollups like layer two rollups on top of Ethereum. Compared with today in the year of 2025. So the liquidity fragmentation and user experience fragmentation still remains a challenge. Interoperability among these different blockchains and rollups is still going to be a major challenge and a major problem to be solved. And our focus on in the year 2025, solving these challenges, the end goal is to enable, it's to help crypto and blockchains to find its users, find its use cases, more users onboarding onto the blockchain. And I think it is also like the same for other teams that are building infrastructures, building applications. We're not building an infrastructure just for itself. We're building infrastructure for use cases for crypto users, and so we need to find more use cases. We need to support these use cases to grow and attract the users, and find the product market fit, and to grow the adoption, to grow the user base, and grow the community. It's the same for ZKLink as well. Apart from the technology, we'll be also doing a lot of work on community building, on promoting and educating the market about the technology, and we'll be also exploring at the same time the new things that are emerging, like AI. Crypto AI is been very popular topic for the past year and in the past months, and there's a lot of trading activities, a lot of discussions, and people are focusing a lot on Solana and the memes. I think it is something that we cannot ignore, even though this is harder for us to be fully focused on or be fully involved in such activities. But it's still we're at the end of the day, we're building up infrastructures, we're building technology and building applications for the users. If that's what the users need, and then I think there's also some angles that we can provide. We can have proposed values, and we can help to improve user experience. To, for example, the trade meme coins on different chains. There's not only Solana, right? There's also Base. There's also potentially there are other blockchains that we have a lot of meme tokens and have a lot of meme themed applications. Not only in just trading, probably will be MemeFi, like DeFi applications focused on meme assets, and also will be like maybe like a meme themed gaming. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that we can do in 2025. But the key word for 2025 for us is use case and user growth and adoption.
You definitely mentioned about a lot of new and exciting things, and which all drew up to somewhere or the other use cases as well as user adoption. But when we talk about new things, abstraction has, of course, been one topic that has been talked about, and of course, you guys have been focusing on that lately. If you can decode abstraction for, let's say, a noob, someone who's just entering into this space, what does it mean, and how are you guys at ZKLink sort of approaching abstraction differently?
Absolutely. Internally at ZKLink, we are uh, like you're focusing a lot on abstraction recently. This is something that aligns with our vision and our mission. We have done a lot of deep research with our product team into thinking of helpful use cases to improve blockchain user experience. Abstraction, in simple words, is just offering seamless user experience to new users. Uh, as we see recently, right? So with the Trump administration coming back to power, the crypto regulation environments are becoming a lot, clearer and more friendly. I think there's more capital flow and continuously going to be capital flow into the market, and then they will bring also a lot of new users. And then these new users, who are not familiar with blockchains, will have a big headache understanding different blockchain technology, and they will need to start with, for example, Ethereum wallets installation, and then they need to have gas tokens, and then they make transactions using gas tokens, and then they go to different applications. They will probably, use different wallets, and then they probably also will be interested in the meme rush, like a gold rush. On Solana, on Base, on Solana is the different ledger system. Then they have to install different wallet. Then they have to buy Solana as a gas token, and then when they make a transaction on Solana, then they will need to understand how to interact with the Solana application user interface. So there are hundreds of applications on different blockchains, hundreds of blockchains. It is a big headache, even for someone who is like well seasoned in the industry like me. So for a newcomer, this could be too complicated, and it's really hard for them to digest it in a short amount of time. So I think abstraction will be very helpful because they don't have to think about the blockchains they're using. They don't have to buy gas tokens when they've sent a transaction, or then they want to make a move. For example, just buy a token. And abstraction means that you're using different blockchains like using one. You're using different applications like using one. You don't have to install different wallets to manage assets on different blockchains. You don't have to purchase gas tokens uh, prior to make a transaction on a certain blockchain. You just use your local wallets, whatever wallet you are familiar with, right? For example, if you are familiar with just let me just give you a very quick example, or MetaMask, or Trust Wallet, or Exchange Web3 wallet like Binance Web3 wallet, or OKX Web3 wallet, whatever it is. You just use one or two wallets, and you have your funds there, easy for you to manage. And then we want to use a DeFi application on blockchain A, and you just go to your browser, and or you just click on a link shared by some friend of yours and make a transaction. You just sign with a wallet, and the transaction is done. The blockchain itself is abstracted away. The gas token is abstracted away. The transactions, the applications which you have used to purchase the token is abstracted away. For you, it's just you click on the link, or you just maybe just go to the wallet. The wallet, there is application user interface. You just go to this interface, click on the token you want to buy, specify the amount, and then you sign with wallet, and the transaction is done. It is the same for different blockchains, different applications. So this kind of user experience will be a lot easier for new users, even for like the crypto veterans. I think this user experience will also be too good will be very good and too good for them to to continue to use 10 different wallets on 10 different blockchains. And think it will be game changing user experience, will redefine how blockchain applications is being seen today and how it's been promoted. That is why we're very bullish on chain abstraction solutions and intent based, like intent based, anything intent based. But there are also other, there's also different opinions. People, of course, there are a lot of challenges and there's still problems to be solved. But this kind of user experience is definitely the end goal, or is definitely the target, long-term target for all blockchain developers to be able to match the Web2 applications and products, right? So then we could possibly have a mass adoption, a large amount of users that without uh, very good knowledge of blockchains, they will be able to use blockchain like like my mom, like an auntie who's been very new to tech softwares and blockchains. For the elder generation, it's really hard to understand how blockchain works. It's really hard to explain to them too. But if you offer this kind of like user experience, just a few clicks, and then they don't need to worry about the gas token, wallets. Uh, yeah, I think then we will be possibly then we'll be able to tap to a larger amount of user base.
Absolutely. Usability, you rightly said, user interface and usability has been a big challenge, not just for newcomers, but even people who've been using crypto for quite a few years, including myself. I find myself stuck with certain apps or certain decentralized wallets that I'm trying to use at so many times, and managing so many different chains and sending from one chain to another has definitely been a big challenge for the space, even for insiders. But other than that, when you try to address such issues with, of course, abstraction, with intent based solutions that you spoke about, are there any other issues that come with it, or rather challenges that the industry would still need to come head on with, like, let's say, security or privacy related challenges, when we talk about users, usability getting better? What are some of the other challenges, wins, that will come up, and we will as an industry have to deal with those? If you can speak a little bit about those.
Uh, a few challenges that lies ahead for chain abstraction infrastructures and also intent-based products. Number one is this: this is still relatively new, right? It is still needs to be battle tested. The security of this and then the robustness of these infrastructures. Basically, chain abstraction solutions, there are different approaches. There's layer one as a chain abstraction layer that provides, that acts as the chain abstraction layer for the products that runs on this layer one. There are also layer twos or layer threes acting as the middleware chain abstraction layer to settle, to coordinate the transactions and settle the transactions on different blockchains, because eventually all these transactions needs to take place on that blockchain, no matter how the process is like. So there's a few different kind of designs, or you know there's all is you're always making compromises. You're playing with different parameters. You're doing trade-offs on, okay, so the speed of these settlements and how you synchronize the states across chains. You can utilize fast finality based on AVS provided by the restaking layer, like icon layer, or symbiotic. Also, you can utilize the way we use the smart contracts to verify the state proof together with the knowledge proof on Ethereum itself, to synchronize the states across all Ethereum based rollups. So this is the most secure way for us, but the speed of finality is not ideal in that case. But then we can utilize the pre-confirmation by AVS as well, which provides you a lot of faster finality. So you can have a higher capital efficiency when you coordinate the funds flow on different blockchains. Because at the end of the day, user intent is very simple. I want to buy certain token, certain amount on a certain blockchain, and then you will need to play with, okay, how I settle this transaction on this blockchain and in which application, because there could be multiple venues, multiple AMMs, or multiple exchange running on the same blockchain. So the solver network or the infrastructures will need to decide how to settle this, and which funds do I use, and who's going to complete the transaction, and how do I confirm the states, and how do I synchronize the states onto the different blockchain where user funds are sitting. So this process, there are vulnerabilities and risks. If you go to if you go go very go deep in one direction, for example, if you go extremely fast, then you have to take certain risks. So all these designs needs to be battle tested by users and by different use cases. So it takes time. And number two is that the users are still not familiar with these kind of solutions, and it takes time to educate the users about these new solutions. And then these products and this infrastructure needs to build it out and market it, and promote it to all users. Because this will not happen overnight. It's not a magic. It takes a lot of hard work. And number three is that it also there's also other like alternative solutions, right? For example, I think the most successful chain abstraction product is centralized exchange, because think about it. You're using centralized exchange, you never think about blockchain. The only time you think about blockchain is when you make a transaction in and out the exchange. You have to select the blockchain network. And when you use that exchange product, you use it for trading purpose. You buy tokens, sell tokens. You use it for earn purpose. You just asset management. For maybe lending, borrowing. You use it for maybe for intelligence purpose. There's also a lot of like news and information that you can get from application, and you probably also can use it for DeFi purpose, right? So they're offering you access to DeFi staking, for example. You can stake the token to the exchange, and the exchange do the on-chain staking for you. So yeah, I don't know how long it will take for for users focus and the user habits to accommodate, and from centralized platform to decentralized platform to on-chain products. But definitely, I think that the whole industry is all about self-sovereignty. It's about self-custodial. It's about freedom, financial freedom. Relying too much on centralized platform, I don't think it is like the long-term thing. Centralized exchange offers you like the best user experience for the industry at the moment, and also it is the best liquidity, also meaning best user experience, and also the most credibility, because blockchain industry is still early stage, relatively speaking, right? Credibility is still very important. Something that you can trust, that you can sleep on. If we're talking about a large amount of crypto assets, I think the largest centralized exchange is still the best place for a lot of people, so that they can have they can be reassured and have easy mind. Decentralized products means a lot of unknown risks for a lot of people, because they certainly don't understand the technology sitting behind. So this is also a significant challenge. How people will become comfortable with decentralized solutions. This will take a lot of time. I think it is going to be a slow, relatively speaking, a slow process. But I do believe, and our team do believe that at least the long-term target we have to reach. That's why everyone become comfortable with these decentralized solutions. So it needs to be battle tested. It needs to run steadily for years. I think nowadays it is quite safe to say that people are very confident and comfortable with the blue chip DeFi applications like Uniswap, AAVE, because they have been running for years. with a large amount of users, large amount of funds being processed, and zero incidents, zero security breach, very simple design. The product is very simple, relatively speaking. And yeah, for chain abstraction products, this is going to be a challenge because chain abstraction means actually complicated infrastructure behind. So the vulnerabilities and the risk is when you have a complicated system. It offers simple experience at the cost of have a complicated infrastructure behind. So yeah, a lot of tests needed, and the time needs to prove that these infrastructures and the solutions are reliable and robust. Under different conditions, different market conditions, and you know, uh, there's a lot of things. It's just it requires time and efforts.
Absolutely, Vince. We did, in fact, in detail look at some of the roadblocks, some of the challenges, and my next question, I think, has to be how ZK-Link is placing itself differently when compared to competitors. What is it that makes you guys stand out from the crowds? And with speaking about all the roadblocks, all the challenges, the amalgamation of AI, crypto, and bringing abstraction into the picture, how is ZK Link positioned differently? Yeah.
As you can tell from our name, I think it is one of the most obvious differentiators that we have been developing with the ZK technology since day one. Uh, the reason is simply because that we think this is the most secure and it offers trustless solutions. And instead of like you know, economic trust, we rely on mathematical equations, mathematical proofs, uh, basically just codes. Uh, the second differentiator is that approaching, we're building all kinds of solutions on in with the assumption that the future of blockchain space is multi-chain. So there will be multiple chains for multiple purposes. They all will be uh, successful and prosperous. We have a big ecosystem, and how to interconnect this different blockchain ecosystem, how to achieve interoperability, how to offer user experience, the best user experience possible across different blockchains is the key to success in the world of multiple blockchains, and is also obviously needed. There's like the problem of fragmentation of liquidity, since you're gonna have like a multiple crypto assets on multiple different blockchains. How you manage that, and when you want to make a transaction on different blockchains, how you can do that safely and easily, right? So that has been our focus: multi-chain infrastructure, multi-chain solutions, an application that runs on different blockchains, a blockchain that can offer user access to liquidities and applications on multiple chains. So then, based on this multi-chain rollup infrastructure, then we are going one step further, which is chain abstraction. We become a chain abstraction layer. We just, we provide the settlement, we provide infra that helps the applications to tap to liquidity on different blockchains, and they just focus on the user interface. So users can use this application just to do the come to execute their intent. So yeah, that is like the three major step that we have taken in the past years. And going forward, I think we have been trying also, building our own AI agent. Crypto AI agents is also popular, right, recently, and there's a lot of potential with AI enabled capabilities. We probably, will offer something that will be more helpful and powerful for end users to complete their certain intents, for example, trading. That because AI is, generally speaking, is already a lot smarter than average human being, and their capabilities of gathering intelligence and analytics is already a lot stronger than human being. So with the help of AI agents, uh, a trader can increase its EV in a volatile market, and a new user can learn faster and have access to more opportunities. And the AI can help discover different opportunities on different blockchains, and help him to discover and converge his intent. So a user just every day it's opening an application, not necessarily knowing what he's gonna do exactly. So he's gonna read a lot of crypto news and go through different websites, and just to know what's happening on the market. And with AI, this process can be a lot easier and more accurate and more efficient. So this is something that we're just uh, experiencing, you're experimenting, and trying to develop. Just this together with the blockchain link that we're building, which is magic link, we called it. Basically, it feels like magic. You just complete your intent on blockchains. Forget about the blockchain itself. To click on one link, so access to and access to and use the blockchains feels like just a Web 2. So yeah, we're trying to bridge user experience between Web 2 and Web 3, trying to bring Web 2 users to Web 3 by offering them the Web 2 kind of like user experience using the blockchain links and also AI agents, or based
Mhm.
on the chain abstraction layer.
Absolutely, Vince. I feel that the shift that we can bring in Web 2 users, bringing them onto Web 3, definitely requires a bit of push from the institutional end, but it also requires some help or efforts or aid from the regulatory end as well. What are your expectations from global regulators as well as regulations and regulators in the Asian nations? If you can talk about the current regulatory landscape. Is it favorable? Is it not? And what are entrepreneurs sort of looking forward to in the years to come from the regulatory end?
Uh, Overall, I think we are uh, optimistic towards the regulatory environment change, especially this year. After the U.S. election, we have seen a lot of optimistic signals. Right, the elected president has promised a lot of things. Uh, just change the chair of ACC will be a good start. Yeah. And then they will have like they were talking about a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the states, and some Pennsylvania, the states of Pennsylvania also, I think, recently announced that they're going to have a strategic Bitcoin reserve, and these are all very positive signals for the crypto space. And as a developer, of course, we're more focused on the technology than the regular development, because no matter what, we're going to build whatever is needed, right? We're going to help push the advancements of the technology towards until we find until there's real use cases, there's mass adoption, until the problems we have seen are solved. But back to the topic of regulations, this just it's very important, because they will change the market. You could easily change the market, sentiments very uh, with more capitals, and with more clarity and regulations, more users, more capitals into crypto space industry will help advance, will help accelerate the building process, will help accelerate the adoption process of crypto products. Uh, as US taking the lead, I think other countries will follow very quickly. People at the moment, I think, it is still waiting for the elected president to uh, get back to his office and say if he can deliver his promises. He has made wonderful promises, and if that came into reality, I think the other countries, and especially the crypto-friendly countries like uh, some Latin countries, Latin American countries, like some European countries, and some Asian countries as well will follow very quickly the US regulation. And this will remove a lot of barrier for crypto investments and for also for crypto builders. Uh, for the past 30 years, like crypto space has faced a lot of regulatory pressure. Right, the leading firms they are in legal battles. They're always fighting with these SEC. Even the DeFi applications like Uniswap, DYDX, they're receiving like whale notice. So they have spent a lot of resources on the legal fights. Yeah, with this, regulation environments becoming more friendly to crypto, and they will be able to focus more on the product developments, focus more on marketing, focus more on user adoption. Yeah, so this will definitely help accelerate the advancements and the development of the whole space. For us, I think there's still like questions remaining, even though like the president, a new president will be crypto friendly. Like if, especially in the DeFi space, there's a lot of questions to be answered. But as we are optimistic, I think we will eventually find out the answers. And with we have been developing, we have been focusing on developments even back in the days when this was hard. I don't see any reason that things will not become better with the more friendly environments. Yeah, so definitely bullish.
Absolutely, absolutely. Optimism is definitely the way to go for the space for now. You briefly mentioned about building communities and how ZK-Link has been trying to do that more aggressively. If you can speak a little bit more about how you guys are allocating funds to building communities and what are communities at the moment for ZK-Link looking like, that would be great, Vince.
Yeah, community also is always been one of our focuses. We have, for example, this year we launched our own token, ZKL, right? To, of course, to provided the instrument to cover the long-term development of the protocol and also to drive the decentralization of the network. Uh, with this launch, we have done a large scale of airdrop to ensure that our community is correctly incentivized and involved in this one of the most important milestones of the project. And then we continue to have been running the incentive programs to involve our community members, token incentive programs like yield campaigns on our chain to encourage user participation. And we have been continuously doing community-driven contests, such as like bug bounties, to engage developers. And also, we have done quite a lot of stuff on social media engagements on Twitter, and Telegram, and also we have our own Discord channel also with over 330K active members. And also, we are regularly updating our community members on Medium to share the updates and interact with the audience. And we also, make sure that all questions and requests and inquiries on these different social media platforms are immediately responded, uh, and we continuously gather feedbacks from these different channels for improvements on the products. And also, uh, we have done a lot of things in the developer community as well, building partnerships and collaborating with layer one blockchains, layer two rollups, and other projects. Very widely, we have been collaborating with Quest platforms. We've been collaborating with a lot of wallets. We have been integrated with Web3 wallets, exchange wallets to grow the user base and to provide more access for users. And also, we have been partnering with community-driven organizations and influencers to amplify the project's message to make sure that there are to raise the awareness of the brand, of the technology, of the product offerings. And we also have a localized and global community management, building region-specific communities. Like we have been doing quite a lot of stuff in the Korean market, in also the CIS region, in Turkish uh, community, Vietnamese, uh, Latin American, Spanish, to cater to different languages and cultures. Yeah, there's some other things we've been doing too. Yes, but generally speaking, we have been very active in community building, and we have community mods program. We have also have like you know uh, influencers that help us to furtherly to deliver our message.
Mhm. Quite diversified communities, I must say, wins. And finally, as we come towards the end of our session, a really insightful one indeed today, are there any final thoughts that you want to share with budding entrepreneurs or developers or builders who are trying to build on Ethereum based blockchains? Are there any key pieces of advices or any roadblocks that they should be prepared for going forward?
Yeah, one key message that I want to talk about again here is that we are very open to different technologies. So we're not like just stick to one specific technology that are. So as you can see that we have been trying to interconnect, unify different blockchains using different tech, including Ethereum, Solana, Ethereum rollups, you know, even the Move system. We're looking into it. So we want to work with uh, the largest amount of developers that are building real value in the space, that are building real use cases for real users. And one way to see through the noise during this bull market, I think it is to look for builders that are consistently shipping and collaborating with the service teams that can guide the building teams, the building process at every step of the way. We welcome all builders to collaborate with us and to build use cases. I think the infrastructure is getting ready and it's becoming more developer friendly and user friendly. Now it's time to think about how to build real use cases and how to offer real values to end users, and then help crypto to fund its next 1 billion users. I want to collaborate with these kind of teams, and also we want users to, of course, to be widely involved in our journey, in the journey that we think we're going to to build a future and enable a seamless blockchain space for interconnected and aggregated and unified blockchain user experience for the wide crypto audience. Yeah, yeah. Then so we sincerely invite everyone to join us in this journey. In any way that can help us to improve, we will listen to the feedbacks and improve our offerings.
Right. That's something very modest to say, I must say, Vince. And thank you so much for spending your time on the Coin Republic and trying to educate people, trying to talk about so many amazing things. Definitely in the year 2025, we're going to be looking at a lot more usability and, of course, onboarding a lot more users as usability in the Web3 space gets better, with, of course, yourself and ZKLink being at the forefront of onboarding crowds from Web 2 to Web 3. So that's going to be something that we'll be looking forward to for sure. Once again, thank you so much, Vince. If there are any last words on the show today that you have, please feel free to shoot them.
Thank you very much, Veroni. And one last word: I hope everyone will be, everyone in this bull market in 2025 will find, the the crypto journey rewarding and thrilling, as much as I did in the past years. Of course, financially rewarding is very important as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Vince. And it was my pleasure.